What's up, good people? It's your boy DJTheParkBoy. I'm in the building. Welcome to a new episode of the L.I.M.E show, and today I have a special guest here with me. I got my older brother in the room. He here to give y'all some of his opinions to, the bullshit that goes on in the world. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, for y'all who don't know, like I said, I'm the older brother, DameJM, coming through to get my perspective on the niggatry that happens on a daily basis.
Go ahead, say that. Oh, at the end it seemed like your audio was breaking up a little bit on that one. You got some headphones? Yeah,
Yeah,
if you throw the headphones and it might pick you up on the speaker a little better so the people can hear you, you know. While he going ahead and grab them headphones, I want to let y'all know, man, you got to be prepared because it look like the market might be ready to crash on some of y'all. You got to be prepared because there's a lot of things going on in the world. A lot of volatility. You got Afghanistan. You got
I definitely want to chime in on the
you
market.
got the housing market looks a little crazy right now. Again, be prepared. Make sure you got investments because a dollar today is not worth a dollar tomorrow. And that is the truth when it comes to money. And with hyperinflation kicking in right now, and I don't know if you guys been prepared, but inflation's been around. The price of everything is going up, including the price of talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because a dollar today is not worth a dollar tomorrow. And in terms of the housing market, it's like really crazy. Uh Me and my fiance, we've been looking at places because eventually we plan on getting a rental property. We plan on moving up in the world, trying to do a little more than what we do now. And I mean that's the goal, that's the plan. So we got Damien, he back. You got his headphones. Hopefully we can get the audio corrected. We can hear everything properly. But go ahead and I guess introduce yourself again and say a little more. You let them know that your name Damien JM.
Yeah, so again, for y'all who didn't hear me and y'all who don't know, I'm the older brother, Damian JM. Just coming through this live to discuss the pretty much hot topics, you know, some niggatry, some need to know information, and just here to have a good
Definitely here to
time.
have a good time. I mean, as I like to tell my people, it's time to get into the bullshit. It's time to get into it. We gonna jump right into it. So something that's floated around, and I mean, I hate talking about this person because I love her so much. I believe Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper, hands down. Still now, her pen game's immaculate. She has hit songs. She has a pen. I mean, I don't know what his face is over there. He making mean because Nicki is like one of those people. She is one of those people. Uh, so I mean, it sucks anytime I got to come across a story with Nicki, but apparently her and her husband is being sued for harassing his sexual assault victim. Kenneth Petty, back in the day, he caught a sexual assault charge. Won't bring up the victim's name because usually that's not necessary to bring in the victim's name for us to know what's going on. But to put it in context, it's not looking good. It's looking like they were trying to pay the girl to drop her statement. They wanted her to recant that for the money. She said no, and after that, she said she started getting harassing calls and text messages and things like that. Uh, that's a bad situation for Nicki name to be brought up in. Again, I love Nicki. I love her. I mean, I'm a musician. I would let her do a song with Nicki, but that is a crazy situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the ball to you. Let me get your opinion on the situation. How do you feel this gonna play out? What's the dynamics of it? How should Nicki be perceived from all of this?
Well, I mean, honestly, it kind of matches up what people say about her personality anyway, that she a bitch. So to keep it 100, it sounds about true to me. Like I can believe that well, I'm not gonna say her, I can believe that she did all these things, and then knowing who her husband is, I can believe that too. I mean, you just gotta look at it. When she came out and said that, she was dating him and that they got married and all this stuff, you know how much flack she
It was a lot.
received because people brought up this same
It was definitely a lot
situation.
of flack. I mean, it's even
Yeah.
joking memes running around that Nicki had to settle. because I mean the dynamics of
Yeah.
relationships and things the way those are. Uh, I mean the situation kind of reared his head when it popped back up when he didn't register as a what's the correct term for it, as a I don't want to call him a predator because I mean predators kind of,
Sex
yeah,
offender.
he forgot to register as a sex offender
Hmm.
in L.A. and it came to rear its head against her in that situation when it bounced back and they were like, hey, your husband forgot to do this. You tried to bring him into an event that kids were going to be around, and that's when the problem started to, really occur. That people really, really were like, "Hey, look, Nicki, why would this be your husband?" But they knew each other for their whole childhoods and things like that. Apparently, they grew up with each other, so she probably knows him more than the general public knows him. And her perception and opinion of him may be
Hmm.
different than a lot of people. Again, we weren't in the room when any crime. We're usually not there when crimes take place. We go on what happens in court, what's in the court records, and from the court records, it
Hmm.
don't look good. But of course, Nicki may know something we don't. But it also doesn't look good that her brother also has
It's a sex
he definitely,
offender.
now the brother was a wild character based on the stories and things he went to jail for, and of course Nicki, I she should defend her brother in that situation. It's tough. It's family.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't
Even
do it. With the popularity that you have and that you consider a role model, an inspiration to young females, for your brother to have done the things that he's done, it's like it's okay to support him behind the scenes, but to publicly support him when you probably know he guilty, he guilty. It's like that's a red flag right there. Like I couldn't do it,
I mean, but it's also hard kind of just labeling somebody automatically guilty when we know as soon as you're accused of a crime, it doesn't mean you automatically did it. That's truth. You have to be proven to commit a crime. So if somebody accuses you of something, you should receive the benefit of doubt. Anybody can make up any accusation at any time, and that shouldn't decimate your character because somebody accused you of something. It has to be proven.
I don't know. I heard it was mad
Yeah,
proof
in
he
court they
did it.
found the mad proof, but in Nicki's situation,
Yeah,
before you see the proof, you have to take an accountability that
mm-hmm.
this could be a lie. So I also
That's true.
understand that. I
That's
also
true.
understand that after you know he's done it, then you separate yourself away from that
Hmm.
situation. But beforehand, it's kind of tough just automatically dropping anybody because of an accusation, because there's no way to know whether you truly did it or not because of an accusation. We need to see some facts. And they found.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying drop them. I'm just saying just based off of the offense, and based off of who you are, it's okay to support from the background, but to openly say, "Oh, I'm supporting my brother," this, that, blah, no, because it's still gonna look bad on
Yeah,
you, especially if it comes out that they're
I
guilty.
mean, he definitely looks bad in that instance. He definitely does. Uh, but again, I mean, if it comes out that, I mean, it did come out that he was found guilty for those charges. So I see how we can look at it
Hmm.
from that lens. But if it have came out and was found not guilty of those charges, then again, she would have just been in the right for defending her brother and supporting him. So I can understand that lens as well. It just sucks that it looks like he did it. He looked like he was a
Yeah.
creep, the worst kind.
The worst kind.
But I mean,
Worst kind.
do you think this will alter any of her public perception she has now?
I'm sorry, but I believe her public perception's already altered. Like, I think, just like I mentioned earlier, it's been known for it's so many things that people have said about Nicki, how she tried to, you know, hold younger female artists down, or try to blackball people, or that she just a bitch, or she just does a lot
But
of
is it
things. You know
also
what
not
I'm
true
saying?
that most artists who have a position of power leverage their power to their advantage? So is it
but
ultimate?
that makes them a
But is it
bitch too.
in what ways? I mean, if you have power and leverage, people use it in all fields. Should you not leverage
Yeah,
your
but the
success
thing
for your
is,
benefit?
yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like just because you have power and leverage don't mean that you can hold another person down, because if you good at what you do, as you self-proclaim, or as other say about you, it don't matter who comes up next. If you call yourself the queen, who cares who the
I mean,
princess?
but from that same context, I hate to bring sports into it, but I mean, look at LeBron James. He leverages every ounce of power he has to create his legacy. And we
Yeah,
have
but
countless.
he doesn't hold nobody back though.
If you water down the competition, you kind of hold other people back. If you continuously try to take away the competition.
I mean, honestly, it's what, 30 teams in the NBA, right?
Correct.
It's 15. It's 15 players to a
Correct.
roster. It's over 430 players in the NBA. Trust me, it's enough players to go around, because you can't get the top 15 players on one team.
Can we be honest? There's only 10 players who make enough effect for players you build around in the league at almost any given time. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? And people who tend to be in those top 10 positions leverage their power, especially after the age of LeBron, to try to maximize their legacies. Is that true or false? So again, if people in power using their power to cement their legacy, can we just completely throw Nicki under the bus?
Look, he'll hold for that too. At the end of the day, he'll hold for that one too. So is Durant, so is Kawhi, all them hoes. It don't matter.
Kawhi's situation was a little different though.
No, he held the Clippers ransom. So it's like, what did he do? Actually, I think he was worse than LeBron. LeBron ain't hold no team ransom. Kawhi held the team ransom and did kill their whole future.
I mean, LeBron kind of, finessed a lot of places.
Yeah, but he ain't hold nobody ransom. LeBron never said, I'm not going to come to you if you don't get this person. He usually comes to the team and say, all right, we need to get this person. Kawhi said, look, if you don't get this person, I'm going to the Lakers.
But he also went to back to the Cavs under the premise of them trading Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. So that's the same thing.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, it's not like Kevin Love was a top 20 player. Let's be honest. He wasn't a top 20 player.
At that time, he was. What do you? His numbers put him in.
No, he was not. I don't care if he averaged 20. He might have did a usual 20,
which
and 20,
a lot of people did not do.
No one looked at Kevin Love.
A lot of people could not do.
But no one looked at Kevin Love as no top 20 player.
He's top 5 at his position at that time.
Yeah, but no one knew because no one watched Minnesota games.
Absence of information doesn't mean something's not happening. Just because you lack the information of what somebody's doing or something that's available doesn't mean it's not there. Now you're penalizing somebody because the lack of information other people have.
I'm sorry. When Kevin Garnett was on the losing Minnesota Timberwolves, you knew who Kevin Garnett was.
Kevin Garnett was also Kevin Garnett is way better than Kevin Love though. You're comparing one of the greatest power forwards ever to a really good power forward. You can't do that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, even though the Timberwolves was losing with Kevin Garnett's stellar play, who was a top at that time, because it was more competition then, I would say top 10 player at that time. You knew who he was. You said Kevin Love was what?
Top 5 at his position when he got traded for.
No, forget his position. In top 10 or top 20 all around.
I would have to go pull up the list of all the players before they made that trade. But Kevin Love was putting up really great numbers. We're not gonna act We act
He was
like he
putting
won.
up,
We not gonna act like Kevin Love wasn't doing some amazing shit at one point in time.
but again, we got to go to the term empty stats.
I mean, yeah, because if you're not elevating somebody, but if you're putting up great numbers and you can be put next to it, not everybody's gonna be Batman. Again, we just acknowledged there's only about 10 Batmans. So even if you're in the top 20, half of those are really good Robins. Not everybody's a Batman. So even if you're in the top 20, top 30, you're usually a Robin, unless you're in those top 10s that everybody gonna build around. Historically speaking, there's only been a couple anomalies, and that's like Detroit in '04. Other than that, you
Mm-hmm.
got a top 10 guy on your team carrying everybody else. So I'm just saying, man, I think Nicki shouldn't be judged on the prospect of her trying to utilize her power to, cement her legacy. Everybody's done it.
But
People
yeah,
leverage
but
interviews, people leverage accessibility.
hmm
Politicians do it. Everybody does it. When you're in a position of power, everybody leverages some of their power to. I just don't think Nicki should be the only one who takes the bashing for leveraging her power.
I'm not saying she should take a bashing for it. I'm just saying when the question was, does it put a bad light on her? And I was just saying, even before this, it was a bad light already put on her. So I don't think that this did any. Well, this might do a little bit more damage due to the allegations, but at the end of the day, I think her light was already dimming out.
I mean, I still say that's a little debatable. Because, I mean, every remix that Nicki hops on, she kills. I'm just.
Well, I haven't heard a Nicki verse in a while, so I can't really speak
She's on
on
the Bia
that.
song right now. Bia got the big song that's out right now.
I don't even know who that
She got a.
is.
First time I ever heard of Bia, she had a song with Russ. Which you know me, I appreciate the work
I've
ethic of
never
Russ.
heard a Russ
You say
song.
you've never heard her. I mean, but
Yeah,
that's the thing. You don't have to hear a Russ song. He's making money.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, I can. When you gave okay, she was on the song Russ. I'm like, okay, I've never heard a Russ song, so I still don't know who she is. Like, I just know Russ due to his
I
fuckery.
wouldn't call it fuckery. I call it business acumen.
So running down on people who say something about him is not
After I
fuckery.
secured my position, yeah.
Yeah, that's fuckery. So,
Again, he's
like
leveraging.
if you
He's
already
leveraging his power and position to secure his legacy
by running
on
down
people.
on
Okay,
people that no one
no, you
give a
can't say
fuck
nobody
about.
don't give a fuck about. For instance, the Smoke Perp situation. The thing that really hurt his career was the Russ video. That really slowed his career to a halt. It wasn't like he was the greatest artist, but he had fans at that time. Him and Lil Pump went on a whole fuck Russ campaign where every day they
Mm-hmm.
was any tweet they did, they would just put fuck Russ to make it a thing. They don't even know this guy. And then
Mm-hmm.
Smoke Perp took his actual sister's picture and made it his profile picture. That's disrespectful. You're asking to get the beats. It ain't like Russ just went up to go whoop this nigga ass. He was getting provoked. If
I
every day you're tweeting out fuck me, you take my sister's photo who's not even in entertainment and put it out in Broad Street, and I don't do that, you being disrespectful. You brought his family
but
into
look,
it.
but also look at what comes out of it. Now you got at this time, what's his name? Lil Pump was kind of a, you know, well-known
Uh-huh.
rapper. So if you have a well-known rapper and his sidekick saying fuck Russ, that's more people looking into who the fuck is Russ. That's how I look at it.
Or you have those fans who gonna hear you say fuck Russ and you're never gonna give Russ a chance with his music. That happens all the time too.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I think the majority of the people still gonna be like, all right, let me see who Russ is. And I think that they can form an opinion whether they like his music or not after, you know, being after him being brought to their
I mean, that'd be
attention.
nice if that's just the way life worked. If it always worked that way. Anytime somebody said fuck somebody, you want to go check out their music to see what the hell's going on. But we see,
I ain't gonna I ain't gonna lie. It's been plenty of times I heard somebody talk about somebody and I ain't know who they was. All right, let me go see who this is. Like, I guess I'm speaking from my perspective. You know, it's like, all right, I need to see who this is and why you talking about him because I don't know who the fuck that
I
is.
mean, again, you saying you're speaking from your perspective. Most
Mm-hmm.
people in business, I mean, even when it comes to diss songs and shit, most people feel like when you take it too far, you start to hurt their money. You get what I'm saying? And that's where
Mm-hmm.
I guess Russ seen it as like you're starting to hurt his money. You're starting to hurt his perception and the way people want to view him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I mean, while we speaking on some more bullshit, we're gonna go ahead and get into this Kelly Clarkson situation. She now has to pay her ex-husband $200,000 a month.
That's bullshit.
Not
Man, that's man finally winning.
I mean
We finally winning.
that. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was a fake story, but no, it turns out to be true. It says Kelly Clarkson has been ordered to pay a strange husband, Brandon Blackstock, nearly $200,000 in monthly spousal and child support.
Child support.
Starting on
Yeah.
April 1st, the Since You've Been Gone singer will have to pay Blackstone $150K per month in spousal support. Whew.
Hey, look, women been getting niggas like that for millennia.
Oh, but then $45,000 per month in child support
For child
for
support.
2 kids.
Yeah, that's
She'll also have to
yeah.
pay all his legal fees, which amount to $1.25 million.
I'm sorry. Whoever her lawyer need to be fired and she need to sue them. That's how I
That
feel.
is crazy.
It's no way you Kelly Clarkson and you losing to a nigga that ain't got no name. How do you lose that?
Let's see what her net worth is. That's what I really need to know. Like, how much money is she getting?
Oh, it's a lot if it's 200 grand.
They say her estimated net
Nigga,
worth is
so.
$45 million. I would think that he wouldn't be getting that much money from
A
yeah,
settlement.
that's
Nah, because they was like that's temporary until a final settlement gets reached.
so I mean, yeah, that could be different. But I just know, for example, when you're receiving spousal support, if you never remarry, you get that the rest of your life until either you die or that person dies. That is hitting a lick. That's definitely hitting a lick.
Hey, baby, we're gonna be engaged for the rest of our life. It's okay. I got us. Hey, that's exactly what it'd be like. Hey, bro, you know something? We just gonna be common law marriage so we can keep getting this money.
Oh, you gotta slide the camera over something. You getting out of focus something. You definitely went the wrong way. There you go. But yeah, man, $200K. Like, that's crazy. $150,000 a month. Like, I would never work again. Never ever. I was like, you can chill, you can relax, you could just be a great father.
Yeah, but as I said, man, a man finally winning, so I'm not upset. I mean, it sucks. I like Kelly Clarkson, but a man finally winning.
I think the only song I probably could tell you from Kelly Clarkson is that Since You've Been Gone.
Hey, look, I don't care. At the end of the day, men and it's crazy because if you look at it, right, that I can think of, it's only been 2 men who has won, and both of them Caucasian.
Oh,
the other one is Britney Spears, Kevin Federline.
No. You know who before then? Tom Arnold.
Who?
Yeah.
Tom Arnold.
He spanked Roseanne back in the day. Tom Arnold was a legend for that. He was the first. He was the original city boy being up.
Yeah, but Tom Arnold still had a name though. And I like see what I'm saying with as far as Kelly Clarkson and Britney Spears, they was married to people who were just regular Joes. Tom Arnold was still an actor.
Uh,
But Kevin Federline and the black stock, bro, like who was they before they married they spouse? Nobody's. I mean, Kevin Federline was a backup
correct.
dancer, and Black Stock, I don't even know
I
what
mean,
he
but that's
does.
kind of the situation with most women. I mean, when you get in that position of power, too, I guess the more successful you become, the less likelihood you can find somebody on that upper level above you to really take care of. So, I mean, you gotta become almost that the male in that situation and just go find somebody you're attracted to.
Oh,
You hear me?
you gotta become
You
the
got
sugar
to.
mama.
I mean, you don't have to,
I get it.
but statistics shows you
Shit,
kind of have
that's what
to.
it is.
They kind of put you in that
I
box.
mean, Nicki Minaj doing it.
Yeah, and it
Damn.
always ends bad.
I don't know. I think Big Zoo, you know he got the goose right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he like, nah, man. I was just on the block a year ago.
he
You know
he
what I'm saying?
definitely he
I was
definitely
just
hit
on
a
the
lick with
block.
this one, man. I mean,
He coming up. So I don't think I see him doing anything besides protecting the bag. That's it.
that's what he should be doing. I mean, I just feel like, man, he better be the best husband he can, cause that's a situation I
Oh
wouldn't want to
yeah.
fuck up. But then again, if it does
Oh, yeah.
changes, spousal support will be there because his lifestyle has definitely changed. Going
It
from the
has.
projects to the hills in L.A., you ain't sending me back to the block.
No, you definitely ain't.
I mean,
That's when Nikki got called them hitters
yeah, I
out.
mean,
Time for this
she
nigga to
probably tried to send
go.
him back to the block like Amber Rose trying to do her boyfriend or her husband.
Nah, he worked here A&R
He
for
is.
DameJM. Yeah, that nigga ain't that nigga ain't on the
No,
block.
I'm talking about kicking him back to the streets because apparently Amber Rose's boyfriend Alexander Edwards has been caught cheating with at least 12 women. And I don't know if you saw, but he did like a podcast in which he said, you know how women joke around, they be like, oh, I only got 3 bodies, but you know it's really 12. So maybe you got to take my number like that. Well, it's just, he a wild boy for that one.
Well, it's not. It's a difference between saying you had only 3 your whole life to catching 12 in a 2-year relationship.
I mean,
and she said that's what I know.
That's what she did say, and he went on the podcast to go crack jokes about it. He also said that he loves her like a best friend, and women were pissed about that.
Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like this whole new age thing, men. Like I've talked to several, guys, and they into this. I don't think I could just do one woman. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm different. I could do one woman. Back in the day, I had several women. That shit was exhausting. It was tiring. I think I grew old quicker. But, but I think it's a difference when you have a person doing it who has, a little bit of money compared to a broke nigga. So maybe they can do it. But still, 12 or more females at one time, it's like your dick is never solved. Like that's how I see it. It's like, bro, it's no way your shit ever gets solved. Cause you gotta please and fulfill a lot of different vaginas. That's a lot.
Definitely could be. It could be exhausting. I mean, I remember those days of talking to more than one woman at once. It definitely gets. It's just too many personalities sometimes. Too many different moods. Too many different. A lot of stuff. When the more amount of women you have at once, the more personalities you got to deal with.
Right.
And they can fluctuate.
Exactly. And it's like you sitting here trying to maintain all of that while still being in a committed relationship or some type of commitment relationship. That's tough.
That definitely could be. Uh, so I don't know if you've seen any of the interviews that Vlad has been doing with Turk. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah, I saw a clip of one when Turk was explaining the whole kissing thing.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? Because I got another clip I would want to get into. So go ahead. I mean, tell them about that.
He was pretty much explaining the whole kissing thing that Birdman and all of them was doing back in the day, and how he was saying that it wasn't nothing that was gay. It was just like I think he was calling like gay games, something of that
Uh huh.
nature. And it's like I can kind of understand because like one thing he said that should stick with any heterosexual male. If you know you not gay, you good. Like, I'm
Oh,
sorry. I make gay jokes. I've played gay games, but I'm not gay. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just walk up like let's say if I'm just talking to you, I'm like, all right, boo, love you. Like, I'm fucking with you. You know
or
what I'm
maybe you
saying?
grooming me.
But you sound like you
Now
want
I'm
to be
just
groomed.
saying it could be one or the other. You don't know what's going on in 2021, man. Everything is upside down in the world. You never know what
Uh-huh.
could be going on.
Well, that's not the case.
Cause I got
But
another clip. You know that Turk. I mean, the interview's just been interesting to me. So I don't mean to cut you off, but Turk did. I guess the last video Vlad dropped says Turk suggested he may have been sleeping with a man in jail. So Vlad kept tried to. He admitted Turk admitted to cheating on his wife while in prison. Vlad said, "Was it with women?" Turk's response was, "I won't say. Go by my book." How should you take that statement?
he could just be saying that so you can go buy the book to find out.
You think that's the situation? Because the clip definitely went viral.
Well, of course, but just like when we was talking yesterday, and I told you, I just finished watching Oz,
Mm-hmm.
and we all know, for y'all who don't know, it was a lot of Well, Oz, for y'all who don't know, was centered around people being in. It was a whole show about people being in jail, and pretty much the everyday life of being in jail, smuggling drugs, corrupt CEOs, just trying to
Uh huh.
survive. And one part of that was,
Nah, what's up?
huh?
Uh huh. Like,
And one part of that was, men who went in there straight and got turned out. You know what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Or men getting raped. Like
Or
shit
the
like
third
that.
option called gay for
So
the stay, what you find out a lot of people go down and do.
right,
While they in,
right.
they still just want to get their needs off sexually.
They just still trying to bust that load. And they just gonna take it
I
how they
mean,
get it. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
to each his own.
But
That's
I'm
why I stay out of
sorry.
prison. I don't want to have those options on my palate. You know what I'm saying? I don't want those to be my options on the menu. I enjoy women. I could. You can't put me in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy women too much.
I
But I
agree.
mean, his
I
wife's definitely a
agree.
strong person for probably having to deal with all the stuff she had to deal with Turk. Cause Turk definitely used to get high as shit back in the day. All of them were doing
Mhm,
heroin back in the day. Apparently, that was just the thing for the
mhm.
young dudes to do, get high off heroin.
Nah, that was a payment
That's how
plan.
Birdman was trying to pay him. Brrr.
That's how Birdman was paying him. He said, look, we made $1 million tonight. I'm gonna give y'all 25 and an ounce of heroin, and that's y'all payment. Calling it a day. Look, that's good business right there. He supplied what they
I
needed.
mean, Birdman definitely got over on a lot of his artists. He definitely finessed a
Yeah.
lot of his artists in those situations. But I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, that's. I don't know if I could deal with somebody who was on heroin all the time.
I can't. I don't even know if I could deal with a person who smoke weed all
I
the
mean, I'm a
time.
weed smoker, so smoking weed is not a big deal.
I'm not, so it's a big deal to me.
I mean,
I
but
can't do
by
it.
that lens, any drug that you take should be viewed from the same lens because sugar's way more addictive than weed.
You
Sugar
said what?
is way more. Yeah, it's the
Sugar?
most addictive drug in the world.
Mm-mm. I don't partake in that much sugar either, though.
I
Honestly,
mean,
I think my drug of choice is
but
drinking.
drinking's worse than marijuana. All all
That is
science have
so.
shown and
That is
proven
so.
that.
Well, I don't need the scientific proof. I could just feel how I feel when I'm drunk. Like, that's all the scientific proof I need. But speaking of
Uh
that,
huh.
right? Not to get off topic, but so I went to Costco's the other
Uh huh.
day, right? And let me tell you, I've seen you talk about it
Uh
before,
huh.
but I never had the chance to experience Kirkland's cheap vodka.
Oh yeah. When I say that was my finesse back in the day. So,
Oh my
so for
God,
my people
it's
who
my
don't
finesse
know,
now.
I'm gonna put y'all onto some game. I'm gonna put y'all onto the game. Y'all gonna thank me later for this. Trust and believe me. So, if you have anybody who drinks vodka, in particular Grey Goose, what you do is next time
Mm-hmm.
you buy a bottle of Grey Goose and you drink it, you save your bottle. Then you go to Costco. You go get Costco's Kirkland vodka, and it's the same shit. It's the same exact drink. You pour it inside the bottle, they know no
Ah,
difference. I remember one time we went to this party, and
damn.
sometimes you want pregame, we put liquor in the water bottles. So I'm drinking outside the club. I just so happened to see this girl that I know. She walks up, she like, oh, let me get some. She started drinking. She said, oh, you drinking Grey Goose. I'm like, negative. That's that Kirkland. It just tastes like Grey Goose. It works every time, I'm telling you. And it's the secret
Mm.
game. All you gotta do is go head up to Costco. They have really great liquor selection. The Kirkland liquors
Hey,
are
Costco, we need a sponsorship for this one.
or something, man. Oh, speaking of sponsors, man, I'm gonna give a quick shout out. Make sure y'all go to Chop Floss. Shout out to my flossers. Go use that promo code flossers to save you on your next purchase of some Chop Floss. And for my weed smokers, make sure you go to JK Distro. Use Floss1 as a code so you can save 20% on your next order of Delta 8 weed sent right to your door. You can't beat it. Go ahead and do it. So yeah, speaking of sponsorships, shout out to mines. And yeah, life's looking good, man. Especially when you can go get that vodka. But yeah, I haven't had that in a
Mm-hmm.
while. Maybe I'm gonna have to
But
go hit up Costco's and go get some of that. Cause I haven't been drinking vodka that often. I'm more of a brown liquor
mm,
man. And every,
I can't do
every
brown,
once in a
bro.
while, we gotta throw in some tequila or something to spice it up. Like tonight, I think it's supposed to be like tequila on taco night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what I had? I'm gonna tell you. This is another thing, right? So for y'all who don't know, my girl is Caribbean. So we was in Costco's, and she saw some Jamaican cream rum, and like I will always like see her drink it when she was home. So when she came and saw it, she like, oh, we gotta get this, we gotta get this, and I had never had it before. Like I've had Jamaican rum, but I never had Jamaican cream rum.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I tell you, my first sip, I was like, damn, that's kind of sweet. But then it reminded me of spice eggnog. It had like the thickness of eggnog with the hint of rum.
So you say that's
And
Caribbean
I was
spice
like,
rum?
yeah. No,
Cream
cream
rum.
rum.
So you like the
Cream
cream on
rum.
your lips.
From my girl, yes. But but yeah, so it's like that opened my eyes to something new, and I was like, I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
I could do this. Yeah.
But
But next news, we ain't trying to turn people into
no,
alcoholics.
I'm trying to turn people into
Uh,
potheads. So make sure y'all go visit JK Distro and go ahead and use that promo code Floss1 to get your next order of some Delta 8 weed. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people clean, smokable weed that you can get delivered to your door. You order it, and it's there. Can't beat it.
Now y'all about to put a lot of weed dealers out of
I mean,
business.
hey, look, society's changing anyway. So everybody's perception of weed is changing, especially during the pandemic. So many city governments and stuff was losing money. They legalized marijuana to make up for them tax deficits and to stop spending tax money on locking people up for it. You're just wasting money. All you're doing is feeding the cartels every time you come up with one of these dumb policies, and then the rest of us have to deal with it.
That's definitely true.
I mean,
That's definitely true.
yeah, I mean, some of them policies you can't even make up. So I got a question for you. You heard about that PJ Washington situation?
Bruh. Ooh, hey, we was doing good about men winning, but he calls all men
City
to take
boys
an
are
L.
down bad with that one.
City boys down on that one, man. We was doing good, but he definitely gave us an L. He gave us an L.
You want me to run off the story or you want to get into? I'm going to run off the story for you. PJ Washington, for you all who don't know, he is a professional basketball player for the Charlotte Hornets. He was...
Shout out to LaMelo Ball, my new favorite player.
He was the 12th pick in his draft. And apparently, professional Instagram model, professional Superhead Junior. Professionally, she just lets it known that, the pussy is for play if you have the price to play. You know what I'm saying? If you have the money, you can scratch the kitty. And apparently she was targeting...
She bad, though.
She was targeting PJ Washington since he was in college. She would show up to his games and everything. So I'm saying she is a professional at what she does. And it looks like they started messing with each other. They end up getting married. He gets her pregnant. And then she divorces him. And she's keeping his son away from him. But he recently was able to see his son, and which reported that he had to drop off $200,000 to see his son. There are reports out that she's looking for $200,000 a month in support. What's your take on this situation? Because I got a lot of opinions on this one.
Well, my take is he fucking it up for the rest of us. That's the first take. Take two is it's definitely a fucked up situation. It's a fucked up situation. And it's sad that he has to go through this. Cause I've been in a situation where a female has withheld my child. And so I can imagine what he's going through. But me, I ain't got $200,000 to drop off. So pretty much y'all gonna hate me. I just said keep him. Hey. But it's a fucked up situation. And it's like, clearly for what was said, she playing, like she targeted.
She also put out videos saying that NBA players are the dumbest people in the world. They wear no condoms.
The dumbest people in the world. Right. So pretty much she's setting up the future, the generation after her to say, all right, this is what we're gonna do. I mean, it ain't nothing new.
It's definitely not.
But this is the first time I think it's been said.
I just find him to be where are the older players in the NBA locker rooms to tell you how to fuck the hoes properly? That should be somebody designated job in the locker room just to tell you how to deal with the hoes properly. Because I'm sorry, we all know it. Professional athletes have women throwing themselves at them all day long. All day long.
Just for this.
I feel like there should have been some type of vet in the locker room that say, hey, look, she's a hoe for show. She says she's a hoe for show. Those are words out of her mouth. She wrote a book about...
She was also known because she's been with...
countless people. But the thing that should have set everything off was the fact she wrote a book. That should have let you know where her mindset is. She's trying to get with you to build up a story to go sell to other people. That's like anybody who dealt with Superhead back in the day after she wrote her book. Now you're just playing with the hot stove. You keep putting your hand on the fire, you deserve to get burned sometimes. And he got burnt in this situation. Now he's on Instagram crying about how often he can see his child, and that it should have been in that decision making early on.
Going wrong.
I just don't
Right.
I don't get how he fell into that trap. Like, where was his parents? Where were his friends? Where were anybody to say, hey, no, pause. If you gonna fuck. But look, Paul, don't get married. Not to her. No offense to Brittany Renner, but there are a billion more women on this planet than there are men. You can choose not to deal with the girl who wants to fuck everybody. I mean, unless, of course, there are some individuals who don't care. I'm not dealing with nobody who's openly letting me know she fucking everybody. She had a book out here about fucking everybody. She tried to make Colin Kaepernick look bad. I mean, I just don't get his mindset. Like, was it that worth it?
I just think he young, cause she
definitely bad though. I give it to her. She bad.
She bad, and he just young. I just think that what it was, but just being young and dumb. He just got caught up. No, as you said, no one taught him the game.
Which is sad.
No one taught him the game. That's so sad.
Like, somebody should have been in his ear. Like, you didn't even hit your second contract yet. Let me go pull up his numbers and see what his numbers look like. Because the numbers better be good for him to be out here being this reckless. Because
no, I think he averaged like 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, something like that.
Where's that? Here we go. PJ Washington stats. Last season, he averaged 12.9 points a game. 6.5 rebounds at power forward. That's kind of, that ain't superstarish or nothing. That looks like role player.
I mean, but he's still young,
Yeah, but
so I mean, this is only his second year in the league.
When it comes to sports, is it smart to make decisions like already being married now with somebody who's been plotting on you? He got married to somebody who definitely plotted on him as a victim. So, I mean, with that type of decision making, it would be, at least I would say it'd be smarter for you to wait to that second contract. But then again, it's not, because now she can only get money and support or lifestyle from that first deal. And if your second deal is much bigger, you probably keep much more of the pie. So I don't know, man. Right. I would just hate to be PJ Washington right now, dealing with somebody who wants to hold back my kids from me, who's making me look like a fool on the internet. It seems like every other day he's out here looking dumb.
She definitely clowning his shit.
And I mean, I don't know what to say for him. I wish him some luck. Hopefully make better decision next time when he's out here.
Oh, trust me, it ain't gonna be no next time. I mean,
but in the words of my boy from Don't Be a Menace, I kept the Jimmy hat extra tight. That's what you gotta keep the Jimmy hat extra tight.
Yeah.
Because when you out here shooting the club up the wrong way, man. You shooting up the wrong clubs, man.
Right.
But getting into the next topic. How do you feel about comedians doing verses against each other? Because Damon Wayans called out Dave Chappelle. And a lot of people, I feel like the younger generation, probably never seen Damon Wayans do comedy. He is one of the funniest comedians ever that I've ever seen. Hands down, he's a genius.
Yeah. Honestly, this is for the younger crowd, right?
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't have Sean and Marlon if it wasn't for Keenan and Damon.
Correct. I mean, I was there. I know. I mean, their whole family is talented. Their whole family is funny. Like, I couldn't imagine being at that family dinner. That'd probably be like, I wouldn't know. Eyes be crying all the tears out.
I think somebody asked that one day. I think when Marlon was on the Breakfast Club, they asked him that. What was family dinners like?
Cause that would be cool to be in the family dinner with them.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Oh man, he pulled out his LeBron meme. He went ahead and pulled out his black in the middle of the show. They definitely gonna hit me with an age restriction on this one.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, smoking it will definitely get you an age restriction on it.
You gotta tell me these things ahead of time.
Man, you good, you good, you good. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Because the audio is going to be able to do
the
what it
amount of
wants.
things that we said should already put an age restriction on.
Oh, they don't look. They don't give a fuck about none of that. But as soon as you pull out a smoking anything, they gonna be like, look, kids aren't supposed to watch this. I'm be like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna chop up the clips anyway. And when I chop up my clips, they ain't gonna see you smoking. And when they come look for the main thing, they find it when they find it. So I mean, everything works out because they're not gonna watch you smoke on the audio.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, I was about to roll me a J. Now you motivated me to roll up my J. Now that's the one thing that kept me from rolling it up. I was like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wait.
It's a smoke break.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, smoke break. Make sure y'all go check out Smoke Break on the Next Up, so you can get reviews of different types of weeds, conversations over weed specifically for my smokers. Make sure you go check out the Next Up page and go look out for Smoke Break. Of course, I gotta plug in all my things.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And we just over here trying to get to the money, man.
Trying to get to the money. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Trying to get to the money myself, man. Trying to get there myself.
But yeah, back to it though. Dave Chappelle has a really good catalog though when it comes to stand up. I mean, I don't know how they would do it or make it work, but I would be interested to see how they the logistics of it would be.
I don't know. I don't honestly.
Cause how do you go joke for joke really on stage?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't. What?
Because the greatest comedians.
I don't know if I want to see that.
The greatest comedians know how to do callbacks. And for people who don't know what a callback is when you make a mention to something, a reference to something, and you line up so much stuff in between and bring back that callback to complete the circle of the story, which Dave Chappelle is masterful for. But Damon Wayans is too. I've seen 3 Damon Wayans stand-ups. And all 3 of them are hilarious. I had to go run it back. I even had to go show my fiance a Damon Wayans stand-up because she never seen it. And she asked me about the versus thing. And I'm like, Damon Wayans is hilarious. You didn't know? If you don't know, I'm going to show you. You're going to learn. Because, boy, yeah. Yeah, again, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, if we had other matchups, I would love to see like a Cat Williams versus somebody.
I think it would have to be Cat Williams versus Kevin Hart.
That ain't fair.
Because why?
It's already won for Cat Williams. That's a win.
That's what I'm saying. I thought you said Kevin Hart was going with. I was like, oh no.
You know what that reminded me of? That would be like the Locks and the Locks versus Dipset.
Speaking of that, Dipset disappointed me.
They disappointed the shit out of me too.
They disappointed.
When I say I watched so many Dipset freestyles before that came on, and then I watched that and I'm like, wow.
Bruh,
Jadakiss is the cheat code.
We used to listen to Dipset freestyles.
But you also listened to a shit ton of Jadakiss back in the day.
I'm a huge Jada fan.
I definitely remember walking to the little CD store over there on the south side. So we go get the last Kiss. What was it, Kiss of Death? Or was it Kiss of Death?
It was Kiss of Death.
Yeah. So I'm saying we've been listening to him. So I really thought though that Dipset was gonna give the performance to go along with everything, but boy, oh boy, did they get their boot smoked. Jada is a showman.
He is. But I think the problem with Dipset is they don't like each other. And it showed. It showed.
It's more than that though. They set themselves up. They DJ was fucking up. Freaky Zeke looked stupid on stage. Jim Jones falling off stage. Cameron looked like he didn't give a fuck at all about the whole competition. Apparently, they said Cameron was about to leave like 3 minutes before the cameras came on for the show. He was trying to leave.
But he was trying to get his entourage through. So, it's just like, that's dumb too. It's like, bruh. The show is about y'all three, not the entourage. It should not be 50 niggas on stage, but
It,
only 6 niggas doing the verses.
I mean, yeah, I could feel that too, man. But the thing that was just so crazy is the Locks catalog is just super fucking underrated.
It is.
It's so underrated. Like, Jadakiss kind of mopped up Fabulous in their first verses. So I feel like Dipset should have watched that and knew and been prepared. Like, Jadakiss got all these in the tuck. He got all these records. He got group records. And then they challenged him with girl records. And then they went to proceed to play like 8 girl records back to back to back to back to back. That was all hits. And I'm like, wow, how I forget about this? Man, they smoked their boots.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
One also has a cheat code though. One had Diddy, who's one of the greatest producers ever, early on in their career, versus just being signed to Jay. And Dipset probably didn't have access to Kanye. Hello?
I had got a phone call, my bad.
Oh yeah, I saw it pop up and disappear. You was able to hear what I said though?
Thanks.
Oh. I mean, you're gonna have to hit him back now.
I declined to join twice.
He gonna call you a third time.
He probably gonna text me now. All right, but as you were saying, Diddy cheat back in the day, right?
I mean, I'm just saying having Diddy's a cheat code. It definitely is a cheat code. As a producer?
But that was only for like one album though.
Plus all of them hits and stuff that he was able to line them up for. I believe it was more than one album.
They was only on Bad Boys for one album.
For real?
Yeah, they second album, all the other albums came under Rough Riders.
They did go to Rough Riders after that.
Right.
Right.
That's when they became known with Rough Riders.
I mean, I don't know. They also did have other hit songs before they went to Rough Riders.
Yeah, but that was one album.
But a hit is a hit. You can't act like All About the Benjamins wasn't one of the greatest songs ever. Every time that beat comes on, I say, damn, that's amazing. Sometimes you just know you got one when you hear a beat. You just know you got one. Like, I can't fuck this up. That beat comes on and it's just one of those. So I'm saying, like, they had hits.
That is true.
It wasn't like Rough Riders had to build them from the ground up. They was just underneath DMX.
Yeah. That's true.
But I mean, honestly, can you name 5 other producers better than Diddy?
I mean, Diddy don't necessarily be in there making the beats.
A producer is somebody who puts together everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A beat maker is a person who makes a beat. A producer is the person who makes sure the production is right. That's Diddy's job. He go in there, he helps come up with ideas, he A&Rs, he tells you how you should say things, how you shouldn't say things, try it again, this version, that version. That's his job as the producer.
True.
As a producer, I don't have to make beats. I just need the right beat for me to help get production done on.
Right. That's a fact.
Because I believe there's only maybe 3 other people I put up there with Diddy. And that's Kanye, Swiss, Tim, and Pharrell.
I ain't a Timberlake fan.
Missy has one of the best discographies that we can think of. Not only that, early Genuine is Timberland. Timberland has some slaps.
I get that. Like, I'm not saying he hasn't, made a name. I'm not saying he hasn't done that. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to me and who I prefer to listen to, Timberland's not on that list. Now, Swiss Beats, I fuck with Swiss Beats. Again, that goes back to my Rough Rider roots. I fuck with Swiss Beats. Hard.
I do too, but I mean, we can't discount Tim.
No, I'm not discounting. I'm just saying I just don't prefer him.
Aaliyah, bro, all Aaliyah songs. That's Tim.
I get that.
Everybody that
Justin
came under
Timberlake,
like everybody who came out of from like Barry Hankerson, Timberland was producing it. He got all them deals, got all them signed from out Virginia, where was nothing popping. He was the kind of the brains behind that, so I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I'm saying like I'm not asking. I'm gonna give the man his flowers.
He has goats underneath him. Missy's one of those people. Timberlake, I have my issues with Justin Timberlake, but in terms of, you know, black music, he has contributed some towards black music, even though he's still, you know, he's a shady little creepy white boy when it comes to some things.
Come on, don't do Justin like that, man.
Tell him don't do Janet Jackson like that. He threw Janet Jackson under the fucking bus.
Man, that was an accident.
It was not an accident.
It was an accident.
Okay, so the way that he acted after the incident, that was an accident, or was that planned and on purpose?
I mean, I just think he was just trying to cover his tracks after that.
So it's okay for Justin Timberlake to use his power to cement his legacy, but Nicki Minaj can't do it. You don't see the hypocrisy in that? And for people listening, that's what you call a callback.
This is what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying, my thing is, no one knows whether he ripped the joint off on purpose or not. No one knows if that was, you know, intended to be done. When I say about someone who uses their power, they intend to hold a nigga back. That's what I was saying about the whole Nicki Minaj. She tended to hold people back so she could stay on top. That's not what I believe Justin was doing. Because one, you can't hold Janet Jackson back. Janet Jackson's a bigger star than Justin Timberlake. So,
Janet Jackson's career actually took a huge hit from that Super Bowl stuff. It was hosted on CBS, which is owned by Viacom, which owns most of the entertainment and media stuff that we watch. Viacom is one of the 6 big companies that own everything we watch on entertainment. So if you piss off one of those companies who tend to work together behind the scenes, we're not going to act like they don't. You piss them off, that can change the dynamics of the way you're perceived, the way people talk about you, the way people receive you. Because media, as Malcolm X would say, the media will have you hating the people who are oppressed and loving your oppressors, because we don't have control of what they print or what they say out there. So when everything came, let me pull up one of these articles so we can see the everything that went on with that. Because Justin Timberlake kind of did leave Janet to dry in that situation. So it was a planned costume reveal, according to Business Insider, which I'm on looking up the timeline of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if both of them planned it, just based on this one line of information here, that means he should have took the same amount of accountability that she did. Instead, he helped throw her under the bus. Let's go into the timeline of Nipplegate. That's what it's called.
Hey, man, we gotta give a shout out to motherfucking Richard Nixon, man.
To Richard Nixon? Why? Oh, because everything's a gate after that?
Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to Richard Nixon for that, man.
I mean, if we're going to give Richard Nixon a shout out, let's give him a shout out for something that was actually a good accomplishment, like the EPA. Back when Republicans and conservatives believed in protecting the environment, because that's a part of conserving things, protecting the environment by not poisoning the environment. That was a conservative principle at one point in time for my fellow conservatives that believe in that, you know what I'm saying? Believe in actual conservatism. So according to Janet Jackson's choreographer, the moment was planned. They both were in agreement about the reveal, according to her choreographer. Uh, Let me see. Say Jackson's halftime show opened up with a rendition of her 2001 single "All for You" after Jessica Simpson introduced a local marching band. But then Jackson left stage and guest performers P. Diddy, Nelly, and Kid Rock each took a turn performing their hit songs. Jackson returned for a second song, Rhythm Nation, before Timberlake popped out and began singing his single, Rock Your Body. The stage had been populated with backup dancers throughout every performance up until that point, but during Rock Your Body, it was just Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson on stage. The song came to an end with Timberlake delivering the line, "Better have you naked" by the end of this song. So, well, we putting this in context. As he sang, Timberlake's hands snaked around Jackson's torso in a choreography move that while she stood still. On the word song, Timberlake pulled up the right side of Jackson's corset style top, and the entire cup of her custom bra underneath came away. Her breast was exposed, revealing a piece of her nipple jewelry she was wearing. In a split second, where the two singers were on stage, you could see Jackson look down in shock. After the stage went dark, Jackson reached to cover herself while Timberlake still holding the ripped pieces of her costume and bra. Let's get to these statements. I mean, I don't know. Do I really want to do a deep dive on this? No, I just know Justin Timberlake left her out to dry on something that they said was planned, and he even issued an apology to her, which she didn't care for. So I mean, it's easy for you to apologize almost 20 years later after you kept benefiting off of black culture. It's so easy, white man.
All right, here we go.
Is that not a fact? Some apologies are not worth their weight in salt. If you wait 20 years after I've been ridiculed and criticized for something that we both planned, and you act like you knew nothing of it, you threw me under the bus. They promoted you and let your career ride out. You're on the radio every day after that. Janet Jackson, not so much. It wasn't like Janet stopped releasing music. It wasn't getting the button pushed now. But I mean, I felt like you was ready to go ahead and say something to cape for your boy Timberlake.
I gotta look out for my fellow white people, man. I'm just saying, man. Like I said, I'm not saying he intentionally did it, but shit happens, Shit happens.
So is accountability a good trait to have as somebody in a position of power?
Accountability is
accountability good? Is something good to have as just an average human being?
Yeah.
So when you lack accountability and you come back later around the road, does the timing of your accountability matter then?
No.
So I mean, Justin Timberlake should just be, one of those people who we acknowledge loves our culture until the culture needs him to love us back. I mean, honestly speaking, what statement have you ever heard about Justin Timberlake making for anybody black? I don't even think he's ever been on the Breakfast Club.
I don't know. Justin did a lot of music with black
people. Yeah, but what
black
media does he go to? I'm waiting. What black clothing brands have you ever seen Justin Timberlake putting on?
Nigga, it's a lot of famous black people don't wear black clothing.
But usually black entertainers have to go to black media, which help boost up the black media, which helps to boost up those black entertainers. But if you automatically have somebody who can push your music into urban radio without you going the urban route that everybody else has to take, you have a benefit. You're going to do all the white top 40 radio stations, and then you're still forced from program directors because, again, radio is controlled by two companies. You have iHeart and you have Radio One. So from two companies, you can force feed shit the program directors. That's why the independence of the radio used to matter back in the day, because you can go from New York to Iowa and hear different songs on the radio. But now you're in New York and Iowa, everybody hears the same songs. So I'm saying, for Justin Timberlake to have all this urban music, why isn't he on urban radio? Why haven't I seen Charlamagne ask him, which Charlamagne asks a lot of other white guests, what have you done for black people?
Well, technically, all of the black people he done music where he helped boost their motherfucking sales.
He helped boost
him.
He helped boost himself by keep doing music with somebody of black genre to keep himself in those realms without having to actually do the actual work.
But at the same time, if you look at it, he also got them played on white radio stations because he was on the song.
Actually, that's a technicality. The song it was. What's the melody on the song and things like that? That matters too, whether they're gonna get spent on top 40 radio or not.
Look, I believe he took a lot of people and helped cross them over.
So you believe Justin Timberlake helped more people than black music has helped them? Because you think if he'd have stayed, in what was that, Backstreet Boys? If he'd have stayed in his instinct route, he was gonna get the same type of love.
Oh, Joe. Nah, we're going too far now. Don't act like black people went out here singing.
They do. I was at I went to a 90s party the other day, and you hear me? We was outside. It was good to have the 90s records playing. But I would also like to say,
I guarantee Bye 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 came on everybody. Bye Bye Bye.
It came on 3 times for me at 3 different parties.
Don't do it. And
everyone they hit it. But I would also like to say, while everybody sung Bye Bye Bye, name another person from that group that had any success. Because they stuck in that same genre. Name them.
Look, every group has the members and the star. The other members of Destiny Child did not have the same success as Beyonce.
Kelly Rowland's had a pretty successful career. She just don't put out the amount of music.
She did not have the same success as Beyonce.
She also don't have the same volume as music output.
Diana Ross, the rest of the Supremes did not have the same success. Is Diana Ross.
Don't compare Diana Ross and the Supremes when the group's name Diana Ross and the Supremes, bro. That's different.
Look, I'm just saying.
It wasn't called Beyonce and Destiny Child. It was just Destiny Child.
Look. The Temptations. Now all of them had the same career as David fucking Ruffin. So let's put a hold to this. When you the star,
now let me compare them to some of their contemporaries, like what's the group? The Bobby Brown group. Group Bobby Brown was in. I don't know why I drew a blank on their name. All of them went to go be successful. What do you mean?
Hold on. We gotta get their name because we
definitely
up.
are. This the black shit we fucking up on. But you got Bobby Brown out of that. You got Bill Biv DeVoe. You got what the fuck? I got so many names and I just went blank.
New Kids on the Block? No.
Don't call them the white group. You wild for that one. Wild for that one, man. Oh man.
Bro, you wild because you can't even remember their names.
I know Bobby Brown. I know Bill Biv DeVoe.
No, I'm talking about the name of the group.
I was naming the niggas who came after that.
Yeah, but still don't matter what no name of the group.
Oh, boom. All right, I'm pulling it up for us. New Edition. That's terrible.
New Edition.
Terrible, man. How did we get here? It's New Edition. God damn.
New Edition. Man.
That is definitely terrible.
We fucked up on that one. We dropped the ball on that one. Damn. Hey, I just want everybody to forgive us,
Yeah, that was terrible. But everybody from New Edition went on to have really great careers. That's more of a contemporary.
Man, that's an anomaly.
But you acting like Kelly Rowland didn't have a good career.
No, I didn't say he didn't have a good career. I said had the same
Bro,
success as
nobody has the
Beyonce.
same successful career as anybody.
No, okay. So again, so you can't say you can't get mad at Justin Timberlake because
Cause
he started to become more
because he used
popping.
black music to benefit themselves, and he leave black people hanging to dry when it matters.
Bruh,
I'm pretty sure you
bruh.
heard the statement. Everybody want to be niggas, so it's time to be a nigga.
Nope.
Well, that's a statement they use when it comes time for some white people. You know what I'm saying? They love the ignorance and the music that they support. But anytime there's a situation where black people really need some help, it's a lot of people quiet. Justin Timberlake's one of those people.
All right, man. It is what it is. No, we ain't gonna throw dirt on his career now. I'm a Justin Timberlake
for
fan.
keeping it real with him. It's your boy DJTheParkBoy, and I'm here with a special product for you. I got some Delta 8 weed from JK Distro, and I'm saying it's amazing. It's clean, smokable, and the best part is they deliver it right to your door. Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, it's now legal for them to have Delta 8 weed sent through the mail. That's right. And if you use promo code FLOSS1, you can get some clean, smokable weed sent to your door direct. You have options. You go right there to jkdistro.com. You look at all the strands they have, which is a lot. You can even get you some edibles. You can get you some wine. Anything in between you can think of. And you put in promo code FLOSS1, you're going to save you 20%. So go ahead, hop on that now. Make sure it's in the description. So you plan on visiting New York anytime lately? Anytime soon?
No.
Well, they have new mask mandates. No, they have new vaccine mandates. Now they're saying there are no medical exceptions that you can have. If you don't have the vaccine, you can't go out in public, basically. You can't go to restaurants, bars, nothing. Even if
that's why I'm not going
even
to
if
New
your
York.
disease says that you can't take this vaccine, you're now mandated to.
Okay, so I know. Okay, so being that you brought it up, so I would like to touch base on this right here, right? Now, I'm not telling nobody what to do with their life. I'm not no doctor. I'm not no scientist. I'm not any of those things. I'm a person who
You vaccinated?
knows what. Fuck no. So, and this is what I'm gonna say, right? These vaccinations, it's a setup. And I'm not going into no conspiracy shit. Oh, they putting a chip inside of it. I ain't going to any of that. I'm just talking about the facts. It's pointless. It's pointless. And now that you have people dying, becoming paralyzed, still catching COVID after the vaccination, it's like, why are you forcing something on us that still ain't good for us? That's a question that I need these politicians or these doctors to explain. Why is you forcing something on us when the proof is showing that it's more people dying from the vaccination than dying from COVID?
I won't go that far. Unless you can pull up some numbers for me.
It's right. The cases are rising.
Cases are rising amongst people who are vaccinated.
They rising.
But
yeah,
it's only been like a handful of places where the vaccinated people had more deaths than unvaccinated people. And usually that's because in those populations they have high vaccination rates as well. So if 90% of the people vaccinated, of course I'm gonna start getting more people who are vaccinated who would die from a disease than I would not unvaccinated. The problem with me is they initially said the vaccine was gonna be the end all be all. Then they moved the goalpost and said, at least you'll be able to get back to normal life. And now they're telling us we need masks again. They're telling us people are still getting sick. They're telling us vaccinated people getting other people sick. It's just weird. The thing with me is, and for some people who say they're waiting for FDA approval, we've had things with FDA approval that's giving people cancer before.
Look, let me tell you this. So I was watching something because I be watching the weirdest shit, right? So I was on YouTube and I was watching something about the FDA, right? And people don't know this. that the last 5 to 7 heads of the FDA were
From big pharma
CEOs
companies.
of big pharma
Mm-hmm.
companies. And what they do is they take the position, they go back to their company and know all of the loopholes. And it's like, it's crazy because it's like, okay, for the government to implement this organization to help their citizens, you're not really helping us. You're setting us up. You're setting us up because there's no way that you should be hiring people who came from a major pharmaceutical company to be the head of the FDA, just to go right back and say, okay, here go this walk around, here go this loophole, here go this get out of jail free card, and still fuck us.
And then Anthony Fauci is just not a trustworthy individual. Based on his history, he's been around since the AIDS epidemic, and he helped pull an emergency authorization use for a drug called ATZ. In order for you to go look this up, most of y'all would probably have to go to DuckDuckGo because DuckDuckGo does not hide any search results from you. So, if you want privacy and you want to get the actual results of shit from the internet, go to DuckDuckGo. That is not a sponsored ad, but it should be. But ATZ was a drug they created for people who had HIV/AIDS. Mm-hmm. And from the article that I was reading, after they approved the drug, they just started giving it to everybody. And it started killing people. And they just swept this shit under the rug and act like nothing happened from it. They literally...
But this is something that they do a lot. Like, people don't know if a drug don't get approved in the United States because it shows to have something wrong with it, they just ship it to a third world country.
And I mean, some of the shit that's even more crazy is the fact that other countries have better regulations when it comes to medicine than we do. For instance, like Canada. Because I remember at one point in time, it was a situation where Bernie Sanders tried to push a bill through to have us be able to import drugs from Canada. And Cory Booker was one of the main people in opposition towards it because he said Canada doesn't have good regulation. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing how politicians will lie for the money that they receive. And I met Cory Booker before. He's a really great individual. You meet him, you'll love him. And something that's also surprising, he remembers everybody. Like, that's a skill. Being able to remember everybody, names, faces, all. He remembers everybody. But yeah, that kind of threw me off from him at one point in time because I'm like, man, anybody was to meet you, they would never see this side of you when it comes down to it. But it comes to Big Pharma and taking money from him. He receives the most money, so he was the most vocal against importing drugs from other countries, which require, from Canada. They had higher regulations than us. And again, talcum baby powder was approved from the FDA for years. They've known it caused cancer. They sold this product for generations. They took in all the money, and the amount of fine they got wasn't even equivalent to the profits they made. That's another thing that I feel is bad in corporate America is that the fines that we end up giving these people don't even cover the money they made, don't even cover the bonuses people made. So, I mean, I'm not telling nobody not to get vaccinated. I'm not telling anybody to go get vaccinated. I'm just saying, I'm kind of on the wait and see approach. One thing that I've learned from COVID is that almost 80% of all the people who've been hospitalized or died were obese. 40% of all the deaths from COVID came from senior homes, i.e., New York with Andrew Cuomo, where he killed off all those seniors early on, and it was the epicenter at one time because Trump sent them the military hospital on the water. He sent them the naval ship for that. So I mean, the biggest catalyst for me to say, hey, we know it's a whole bunch of bullshit with masks and everything. One, there's already been reports to prove masks don't work to COVID. So I mean, you can go do your research on that. I can even put some link. I'm gonna put links in the description for the shit I'm talking about because I don't want people thinking I don't want people thinking I'm bullshit. Oh, let me finish this. And every time you see the rich and powerful out, i.e., Barack Obama, as Dame likes to call him Black Jesus. Every time you seen him
Black
at his
Jesus.
60th birthday party, he had no mask on. Nobody was wearing masks. They were out having fun. Why is it okay for them, if they got vaccinated, to be around each other with no mask? But for the regular people, they have to have masks. They have to go through so many different things, different loopholes than you guys do. So it's kind of BS, because even the DC mayor did that. I don't know if you saw that. Muriel Bowser, she went to a wedding. She's in the wedding with no mask, and a journalist snuck into the wedding to go take photos of her at the wedding. And that's how we got the photos of her without the mask. And she tried to say she was eating at the time, which she wasn't. So, I mean, these people are, it amazes me sometimes. Even with that, if I'm out in public, I'm at a restaurant and this disease is that bad, why is it okay for me to eat without a mask? It should be mask on every time. It should be no public eating. If you're really,
So how you gonna eat if you got a
how
mask
can you
on?
eradicate a disease if you're going to allow restaurants to be open to people to eat beside each other with no mask? Breathing breathing doesn't stop then.
I've been to restaurants since
Me
COVID.
too.
And I you know, for what I've seen out of the several times I went, no one was sitting next to each other unless you was there together.
I went to a comedy show, and at the comedy show there was they had put us at tables. So
Your screen went
yeah,
black.
I'm about to go ahead. I gotta go switch out this battery real fast. But speaking on that, though, I was at a comedy show, and while at the comedy show, they set us at a table beside another couple, and they put people together at tables to maximize the capacity within inside the comedy show. So while at the table, people eating, drinking, and they just put random people together at the time. And again, I'm cool with it because I want to be outside. I still want to be living life. But for other people, it's like, how can you allow this one thing to take place, but then in other situations you want to allow it to take place? Like it was okay for people to go protest in huge groups of numbers if I'm a Democrat, but it's not okay for people to go to church.
Right.
So that pick and choose mentality kind of puts us in a bad place. But let me go ahead and change this out real quick so we can get the video back up. And just like that, I'm back. I actually gotta go get the I bought an adapter for the continuous thing, so when I'm doing longer shows like this, it's supposed to just go ahead and play out. But when I bought the adapter, I guess it was missing a piece in the box, so it didn't completely fit with my set. So I gotta go ahead and order another one. I just haven't done it because I haven't done a show this long in a while now. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking right now for almost an hour and a half. But yeah, the vaccine is just crazy situation. It's super crazy to me. All the elites, they still living life while we have to go into a hole. Like, it's okay for Target to be open, but if I was a mom and pop shop that's smaller and not having a huge population of people who's around each other, I gotta shut down. Decisions like that make no sense to me. It was really a pick and choose situation where we allowed rich people to receive even more tax breaks. Was the largest wealth transfer in the history of America ever that took place with those the stimulus packages they gave out. Everybody was happy over $1,200, not looking at the totality of the package. It's like you keep giving these people crumbs, they're gonna be happy.
Yeah. But like, even when it comes to that, right?
Uh-huh.
A lot of people who got these stimulus checks, they didn't think about the long term. And that hurt. And that's hurting a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I thought of the long term. I was like, okay, y'all gonna give me money. I don't need it to support my life because I support my life before I got the money. So what do I did? What did I do? I used it to progress my life. I ain't had to go out here buy the latest fashion, the latest technology, or any of that shit. I went and invested my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's some of the
And,
stuff me and my fiance did too as well. We definitely took the money and flipped it because at the time, I mean, I could go use it on something fun, or I can go make some more money.
we're gonna make some
I
more
mean, I'm
money.
already living a
Exactly.
pretty fun lifestyle, so I'm not in a situation where I have to force myself in that to go blow that money. But it was also, I mean,
Hmm.
it was amazing to see because we went to the mall and the mall was packed, every store packed. Soon as them stimmies hit, they was outside. There was no plan. That money was out their hand fast.
Out they hand quick. But in a later episode, I'm a if we get like a finance part, I think it'd be good for us to talk about the different things that we did with our money, to try to educate people because I heard another check coming out. So, to try to educate people on the things that they should do instead of the things that they shouldn't do. You know what I'm
Mm. Oh, that's crazy. Max Kellerman got removed from First Take. I don't know if you saw that or not.
saying? Why?
That I don't know why. Like, apparently they say Stephen A is solo right now. He's gonna be doing the show by himself.
This was the setup from the beginning. I'm gonna tell you why. When they gave him his own little thing, the little Stephen A. list shit, it's like they was preparing him for this
Stephen
anyway.
A always had his own show though. When he first
Yeah,
came to
but still.
ESPN, he had his own show.
Yeah, but it wasn't popping until first take.
Nah, that's not true. Cause he had, bruh,
Bruh.
he used to have AI on when AI was having like all the controversy. AI was like the only person he would go. I mean, Stephen A was the only person AI
That,
was going to go
that's
talk
because
to.
he did work with the Philadelphia, whatever they newspaper
So
is.
I'm saying
Like he covered
we can't just
AI.
discount it because I remember him talking to Shaq back in the day about the Kobe situation. He talked to a lot of people about
Yeah,
like bigger stores.
I'm not saying that he didn't have a job. I'm saying he didn't make 40 million a year until first take. That's
He
what
not
I'm
making that
saying.
now. He only getting like 10.
Shit, his
What's
contract,
10 a
the last
year?
contract I
What's 10
heard,
a year?
huh?
10 million a year. He's underpaid.
Yeah, that's probably for like 4
He's
years.
underpaid.
Nigga, if that's underpaid, then I hate to see. Then what am I?
All right. When we're comparing value added to a company, Stephen A is not only just doing Stephen A show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he had the A-list thing. He had a daily
Mm-hmm.
radio show. He did First Take. He
Mm-hmm.
made guest appearances on everybody else's shows. He was probably the hardest working
Mm-hmm.
person over at ESPN. And he's not the highest
Mm-hmm.
paid analyst on ESPN.
Mm.
So I'm saying,
It's probably because he be with all this always talking about why black people ain't got this or black people ain't got that. Now, if he was to say, "Oh, it's okay for it not to be black coaches or black owners and shit like that," he'd probably be making more.
but that would be the wrong opinion to take.
Nah, it ain't the wrong opinion. It would be wrong for him to do it, but it's definitely not the wrong take.
How isn't it the wrong take? Explain that to me.
Because again, when you like was stated, all these companies owned by the same thing, by the same company, and all of them owned by white people or ran by white
Mm-hmm.
people. Okay, so once you have all of the Uncle Toms get rewarded heavily. But then when you have the people who say, all right, I'm not going to sell out, then they get less than the Uncle Tom.
That's debatable. I mean, Shannon Sharp getting paid, and he ain't playing the Uncle Tom role at all.
That's because Skip look out for people. I don't care what nobody say. Skip looks out for
And
black
also in the
people.
totality of things, Stephen A does say some bullshit. But I don't know if I say he ever played like an Uncle Tom role.
Nah, I don't think he's ever played the Uncle Tom.
Because I
Like,
mean,
he might have some
when he
opinions
says
that, you
tell
know,
people stay off the weed, as I like to say here at Next Up Media, we stay on the weed. Yes, we do. We stay on it. We're on the weed every time.
But he said
Don't fuck your money up.
as far as your job,
he's telling them don't.
He not saying don't smoke weed if you know. Yeah, he just like, look, if you get paid millions of dollars and one of the conditions is don't smoke during the season, don't smoke during the season.
Oh, so apparently they saying Kellerman might be getting his own TV show.
Oh wow. I like Max. And you know it's crazy because I was watching on one of my born days. Well, it wasn't a born day, it was like a born week. I just was watching all the Rockies, right?
Oh, whole time out. And it was 5 years, 60 mil that Stephen A got. So 12 a year.
Okay, I was close. Yeah. So and it's like because you know they always mention how Max is, you know, came from the boxing world. Mm-hmm. And so when I was watching the Rocky movie, which I had seen before Max got on First Take, but it was so long ago I didn't remember him. And I was like, damn, Max Kellerman was in Rocky.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, when Rocky for Mr. T, mm-hmm. Max Kellerman was one of the people on the mics, you know, doing what they do at the boxing joint.
Oh, damn. You know, he even got a rap song too back in the day.
Oh, see, that's why he be doing all the rap.
Yeah, lyrics. He was in a little rap group back in the day. He was trying to be a Beastie Boy. Mm.
I ain't gonna lie. Max Kellerman seemed like a cool white guy to me.
Yeah. I give you that, you know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see him on his own. Is his show gonna be a hit?
Well, but Max Kellerman did radio by himself, though.
Radio and TV, two different things.
But I mean, he's been on First Take for how long now? So I'm sure
I get that.
Stephen A. grooming, and you know, I think he'll do good.
Hopefully, you know, I'm wishing him the best of luck. Yeah, I'm wishing him the best of luck. Him and Stephen A. Because I mean, that was a pretty cool duo. I didn't think they would be one. He would be the first person replaced off that show. You know, but it's also some more breaking news. Apparently, there's somebody outside of the Library of Congress with a truck bomb. Cool. It says the United States Capitol Police were negotiating with a man who claimed to have a bomb in a pickup truck outside the Library of Congress on Thursday, prompting evacuations from government buildings in the area. The man drove a black pickup truck onto the sidewalk of the Library of Congress at about 9:15 Thursday morning. The police responded to a disturbance call. Chief J. Thomas Manger of the Capitol Police said in a press conference, when the police arrived, the man said he had a bomb, and one of the officers observed what appeared to be a detonator in his hand. They're still in negotiations. They say it's unclear whether he has actual explosives or not, but that's a crazy situation. I used to work right down the street from there, so I'm glad I'm avoiding the bullshit. You hit me. I'm glad I'm avoiding it in the comforts of my basement.
Yeah.
Apparently he's from North Carolina. They haven't released his identity yet, but they know who he is.
Look. Let's go ahead and take a segment from the Breakfast Club.
Guess what race it is?
What race it is?
I was just watching it. I wouldn't even want to bet you on that one. I feel like that's an easy one right there.
That's an easy one. Hey, Joe, I swear, like, white people get away with some of the dumbest, get away with the craziest shit ever.
No,
bro.
You want to hear the craziest story of somebody getting away with the bullshit? Have you ever watched Breaking Bad? The story of Breaking Bad was one of the greatest shows ever on TV. I'm talking about, you should go back and watch Breaking Bad. It's 5 seasons, and it's one of the greatest pieces of television I've ever seen. I watched it twice now. But the craziest shit is, the story is a real story. They remixed it for the TV show, but Walter White is a real person. At one point in time, in history, he's considered the largest meth dealer in America. He just got so good at cooking up meth down there in Alabama, his business exploded. I bet you can't guess how many years he had to do after he got caught. I bet you can't guess. I bet.
I'm gonna say 2.
You hit it on the nose, but guess why he got 2? And they made it 2 years. I think it was they pushed back the sentence, so he didn't have to serve it as long as he stayed out of trouble. But guess why? He said he got saved by God.
What?
I said, ain't this some bullshit? Is this what I gotta go to court and say? I've been saved, y'all. I've done wrong and now I'm saved. Save me. They gave him like conditions as long as he stayed in like his son's church and was an active member. He's good. I said, hey, you get away with murder sometimes. How do I become the largest meth dealer in the history of America? And they just let me slide. Apparently, back in the day when they changed like all the Sudafed laws, it was because of him. He was cranking them that much. Let it be the real Rick Ross, and we see the difference and disparities in them charges. And one had a government behind them helping them enforce these things, and the other one was just out here dolo like, fuck it, niggas like doing meth, I can make it. Again, that's that Justin Timberlake shit. But I guess we don't really want to speak on it.
Let's not put Justin's name when it comes to
it shows
world records and selling.
It
meth.
shows it's 2 different disparities when it comes to punishments.
But that's just life, period. Like, come on now.
So it's okay.
I've seen videos of white people shooting at cops and they
don't get shot back at.
Hold your fire. And I seen a black man just put his hands up and get shot. So I mean, like, that's nothing new. I ain't say it was new. I'm just calling it for what it is. It's the Justin Timberlake effect. Oh, that's gonna be the white privilege.
You're gonna make me make that a new segment. I'm gonna call it the Justin Timberlake effect, and I'm just gonna bring up a story.
Don't do that to my man, Justin.
I'm just gonna bring up a story of disparities in white crimes compared to black crimes, and it's the Timberlake effect. I like that.
Don't do that. Hey, Justin, I had no parts of this, okay?
The Justin Timberlake Award winner of the day goes to the original Walter White. You hear me? It goes to the original Walter White, man. He spanked the system. Matter of fact, I got second place for him too. You know who got second place for this one?
Who?
The guy who went to University of Utah. He was a white boy who intentionally got a girl drunk enough that she passed out. He lifted her up and carried her outside of a party, took her behind the house, behind a trash can, and proceeded to start raping her. And then somebody who's just randomly riding a bike sees something weird, stop and look, and stops him while he's in the middle of raping an unconscious girl behind a fucking garbage can. He got probation for that shit. Justin Timberlake Award winner.
Stop it.
Let me see if I can find me another Justin Timberlake Award winner.
Throwing shade on my man name. That's crazy.
Is it shade if he admitted he did the fucked up shit?
Look, Justin repented for his transactions.
20 years later.
It don't matter. if people could do deathbed confessionals or repentance, Justin was still in good health when he did it. Let him live.
That's because the falsehood of Christianity tells people that you can do all the bullshit you want and then get to the end and just repent for it.
Bruh. You already know my stance on that. You already know my stance on
that. The people don't know your stance on that.
The BS when it comes to that.
The people want to know your stance on that. That's the thing. This is why it's called the L.I.M.E show. L.I.M stands for life in my eyes. You don't have to agree with it, but it's I'm the big squeeze on this. You know what I'm saying?
It's sad because my own girl calls me an atheist because she don't like to hear the truth. You know?
See, I wouldn't go all the way and saying atheist.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not an atheist. I just expose the hypocrisy that Christianity has force-fed us for thousands of years.
But what about other religions, though?
I can't speak of other religions.
Oh, so you just here to tell the Christians?
Look, in my eyes, all religions force-feed us bullshit.
Do they?
That's my
What
belief.
about things like the cycle of birth that was told in the Quran?
They gotta do reincarnation?
I mean, no, they had the actual, before doctors knew the birthing cycle, in the Quran was the birthing cycle. No. So I'm saying some things actually come from the books as actual things.
I'm not saying that everything is bullshit. I'm just saying the main things that you hear all the time that's been force-fed since our childhood to the day we die. Bullshit.
Hey,
that's just how.
And I was actually looking up. Somebody had posted something on Facebook that I saw. It was in 1644, the state of Maryland passed a law that said any person who takes on Christianity opens themselves up to be a slave for life.
I think that's all religions, if you ask me. That's my personal. Go get in the bed. Why you sleeping on the stairs? Come on, Thank you.
I guess I'm gonna go through and cut that part out.
Nah, he out here unking on the stairs. I'm like, bro, what's your problem? Go get in the bed. Y'all shouldn't be waking up 6 o'clock in the morning.
What you mean? The day starts before the sun rises.
Not for these niggas.
For the world, it does.
Go get in the bed. Huh?
I'm saying for everybody, it should be that way. You know, that's a good habit to get into.
Yeah, if you waking before the sunrise, that's cool. Just don't wake me before the sunrise.
Because technically, you're supposed to be going to bed like right after sunset. Technically speaking.
I need a new headphone. All right. Okay.
But yeah, you got any other topics you want to get into, man, before we get to wrapping this up? What?
You know, I think the freshest thing on my mind, because they've been talking about lately, is that man R. Kelly.
So what about R. Kelly you want to get into?
Just let the man fry. I don't think we gotta waste taxpayers' money giving this man a trial. Just throw the man in jail. Let him live the remaining of his fucked up life behind bars.
I mean, it was a video I was told to go check out. Kwame Brown apparently did an interview with a girl called I think Mike said her name was Spittin' Fire. And she has counter evidence to show why R. Kelly might actually be innocent. Minus the 15-year-old girl he pissed on.
Okay.
But he beat that case. He beat that case, though. Even though we know he did it.
He beat it all for bribery.
We know he did it, Damon. We know.
Yes,
we know.
I'm
not disagreeing with that. Yeah. But I can't penalize you for a crime that we didn't get you on, and then we try to get you on other shit. That's not the way law should work.
That's how law works.
That's called the O.J. Simpson effect. You know what I'm saying? We naming everything.
Everything. But law works like that.
It don't do that when you got the Justin Timberlake effect on your side.
That's not true. Al Capone had the Justin Timberlake effect.
But Al Capone wasn't viewed like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, he was viewed worse.
So Justin Timberlake means you were usually a regular person to good person. That people could say you were at least an average person. We're not talking about people who were like criminals and stuff. Al Capone was just an open criminal. So that's a different category to put him in. The Justin Timberlake effect wouldn't play for him because he's just a thug. But even though the Justin Timberlake effect, talking about Justin Timberlake effect probably did play a role, because if somebody was in the same capacity of Al Capone and they were black, how would that outcome be?
Oh, we know how the outcome be.
Because again, look at BMF. I mean, the government did fuck over White Boy Rick, so it didn't work in every case.
Oh, didn't I have this conversation with you before? And I said that, and you was against my claim of the government fucking him over?
They gave him anytime the government gives you drugs and give you passes to go ahead, then they come take you down. They, you was a pawn in the piece of the puzzle.
But I was saying that, and you was debating me against that.
I don't remember that conversation. We didn't record that on camera, so we ain't gonna put those bones on me.
No, this was just the average conversation.
I really don't remember that conversation. We probably did talk about it, because I remember when I did watch the White Boy Rick shit.
See, that's what I'm saying. I had just watched the movie, and I talked to you about it. You was like, you said something. What'd you say? You was like, oh, he didn't have to do it. He could have just let his father go to jail.
He could have just let his father go to jail.
But why would you let your father go to jail?
Because he's a grown man who made his own decisions. Bruh, all right, listen, Damien, at what point in time can you stop living other people's lives for him?
What you mean? He was a teenager. What are you talking about? It's not like he was like 30. And they
Damien, but
do this on your father.
His father was a grown man, correct? When you're grown, you make grown people decisions. No, let me finish. And when you're grown, you also have to deal with grown people consequences. It's not my child's job to come save me. That's bad parenting if my children have to save my decision making. That's called bad parenting.
I get that, but let's listen to this though. So let's take it to a different perspective, right? Now, his father might have did illegal shit, right? But at the end of the day, he did it so he could provide for his family.
That's also, I mean, I understand that excuse, but it also becomes a bullshit excuse when you know the total outcomes of the streets.
Bruh, you know how many people out here cross the line of good and bad just so they can put food on the table for their kids.
And I get that, but also look, let me put my life in perspective for that. You've been around. You've known some of the bad situations I've been in. I even had my uncle come offer to put me into the drug game while I was about 12, 13. And I decided, I know the path I want. I always wanted to be a billionaire. I don't know that many billionaire drug dealers versus the billionaires I see on TV who went and educated themselves, started businesses, and did shit like that. Unless you're the
Well, it's a lot of billionaire
there are a lot of billionaire drug dealers, but at 12, I didn't know all the goddamn billionaire drug dealers. All the drug dealers I knew were super famous in the hood, but locked up. All my uncles who sold drugs, all of them did stints in and out of jail. So I also understand that. I'm seeing the pitfalls that they're going through. So putting that into context, I don't see the white collar criminals getting as much time as the drug dealers. So if I gotta go commit a crime, teach me how to go scam before you teach me how to go trap, because then I also gotta go through all the other pitfalls of selling drugs. So I'm just saying, I was able to make a conscious decision from a place of poverty, living in fucked up situations, after fucked up situations, and still conscious enough to know the pitfalls of what came, because they say wise people learn from other mistakes.
But again, you're an anomaly. Because while you was in that same position, 30 other niggas in your neighborhood who was in that same position chose the other
Not
route.
true.
Shit.
If you're living in the hood, you learn majority of people hang in the hood because that's where they hang. But most of the people ain't in the streets. Most people not in the streets.
Most people who live in the hood, as far as a certain age demographic, don't make the conscious decision to say, I don't want to do this. They make the conscious decision to say, oh, I want the new Jordans.
Then why for the
Oh, I want the new fashion. I want the new whatever's new. I want the new phone. I want a car. I want money.
But since like 94, there's been proven there are more black males enrolled in college than there are black males in prison. We have more black people educated now than we had black people incarcerated. So I mean that's a falsehood too. Just because you live in the hood don't mean you stuck in the hood.
Ho. But where are these black people coming from? These might not be black people who came from the hood. And then again, if you look at it, right, let's say you get a black person who's raised in the hood but was good in sports, but they had to go to college for a year or however tender they had to stay there. That still counts as a black man going to college, even though the only reason why he's in college is so that he can get to where he needs to be.
Okay, but look at it from my instance. I went to school on academic scholarship. So, I mean, that's the same ballpark.
Again,
it doesn't matter how... Listen, it doesn't matter how you get there. It's about getting it. People take on loans. People...
Anomaly.
Bro, you know how many scholarships are available? It's so many scholarships out there. You can literally go to scholarship.com, go write up about 6 essays of different type of essays that will cover your basis for all those scholarships, and you apply to all of them.
Okay, but I'm not saying that those resources aren't out
so lack
there.
of information lack of information doesn't mean it's not there.
I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is, just because the rate of black men being in college don't mean that they was like, I want to go to college. I want to get a degree. No, a lot of black people who go to college who come from the inner city, majority of them is there for sports so that they can make it to the next
That's
level.
Another falsehood too. About how many roster spots are available on a basketball team. No, just answer that question. How many spots are available for scholarship on the basketball team?
I don't. All I know is 15. NBA got 15.
So we going by the number 15, which it is. If there's only 15 people, and all on my block, there's usually more than 15 black people there. So it's not like the majority of people going to college on scholarship, because that becomes a small, minute amount of people. Black people aren't the only people who play sports. White people on scholarship all the time too.
I get that, but listen. Now, answer this question. How many colleges are there in the United States?
Over 1,000.
Okay, over 1,000. So we just say that there's 1,000 basketball programs, right? What's 15 times 1,000?
15,000.
Okay.
Oh man, hey, look! If you could have saw your face on that, man, they gonna see this in video, and that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? That could be a meme right there.
15,000. Okay, that's 15,000 right there, right? But let's take football now. Let's take baseball. Let's take tennis.
How many black people are actually playing swimming, tennis, soccer? The sports that black people usually dominate is football and basketball, and we're not 100% dominating in those rates.
Black people play
more
soccer.
People are going to school of academics as black people than they are athletes. That's like a small amount of people. Because even if we got 15 scholarships, every year we not opening up 15 roster spots. We opening up 3 because we got seniors, we got juniors, we got sophomores. So not every year we bringing in 15 new black people. You get what I'm saying? Everybody ain't graduating the same. You gotta get them the academics some credit, man. Niggas is trying to improve their lifestyles. They're trying to get to this money. Even though college is a scam.
That it is.
I mean, they definitely. The thing to me that makes it a huge scam is the fact they allow people to take these bullshit degrees they know won't help them with anything. Like, what the fuck is an art degree? You better go get you a fucking art apprenticeship if you care about art that much and go be an understudy and learn. But for you to take on all that debt to go learn about art study and art history, like, you're a fool. I had that conversation with somebody the other day because we got into like the gap of pay between like men and women and things, which is it becomes a myth when you get into the variables, the actual variables. In totality, men make more than women do. But that goes into a lot of career choices. And people argue with me that in the past 50 years, women have been so oppressed in America. And I said, in what ways have women been oppressed? What can I, as a man, tell you can't do? And I started listing stuff. And the women acknowledged they had all the freedom in their decisions. So if you go to school and you choose to take on a degree that doesn't pay as much as this STEM degree, because STEM degrees usually pay the most, or business degrees and MBAs pay the most, if you're not going into those fields, that kind of become a decision thing. So now you're deciding to make less in a way. Because for instance, if you go to the Census Bureau, they have like a analytical chart and stuff. You put in all the factors and stuff. People are the same ages, same education levels and stuff like that. There are jobs out there where women make way more than guys, like facility operational supervisors, which is like plant supervisors. They make $20,000 more on average than their male counterparts in the same age and same education bracket. But I don't know any women who go into that field. So it's like, sometimes you cheat yourself with the decisions you make. You know what I'm saying? Because all decisions have consequences. It's easy to make a decision than complain when you know what can come out with the options. Because for instance, like with Dr. Dre's daughter, I had something with that. You heard the situation with Dr. Dre and his daughter? Yeah. How can you bash Dr. Dre when she's 38 years old? At what time do I stop living life for you?
Look, I'm.
It look like we got some audio breakup or something. Hopefully pop back in soon. There you go. He back.
Yeah, so I just put it like this, right? I agree with Dr. Dre. But I wouldn't have took 38 years. I tell my kids all the time, once you move out, because I'm giving you a time limit to do that. Now, once you do that, I'll help you a little bit after that. But then you got to make it on your own.
But again, that goes into parenting. It's setting your kids up for winning and failure. But after a certain age, if you're not trying to set yourself up, there's only so much I can do.
It's only so much you can do.
You got kids. I think she got like more than one baby father. And I think she got more than one baby father. She should go try to move in with one of them before you go be homeless on the streets or something.
Yeah, sleeping in your car.
And it's also selfish if you have a baby father who can support the kids and you can't support yourself, that you would rather have your kids homeless. So again,
but they don't sleep. But they not sleeping in the car with her.
Oh, I mean,
they said that they at relatives and friends' house. She just sleeps in the car.
I mean, either way it goes, it's a bad situation to be in. I just hate that people were bashing Dr. Dre in that moment. All the women Dr. Dre actually abused, and and this the one hill y'all want him to down when he's actually been out here beating bitches. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Dr. Dre goes above Timberlake in the producer category.
Definitely.
He's light years above him.
Mm-hmm.
I give you that. He definitely has the Midas touch. But as we learn, his Midas touch left bruises on Michelet's face.
How long you been waiting to get that one out?
Oh, it comes off the top. It comes off the top, baby. I'm here. I am here. It comes off the tippy top.
I hear you. I hear you.
Nah, have you ever heard the story of the girl from MTV from Yo MTV Raps he beat up?
No.
She did an interview with like Ice Cube after the breakup and shit. Cause you know they started dissing Ice Cube first. So Ice Cube finally responded. So he sees her at a party. I think her name D Barnes. Let me pull it up and make sure. Cause the ass whooping was so bad, we gotta make sure the name was right.
Oh, you want to make sure she get all the credit.
D Barnes, who is part hip hop pioneer because she helped cover the early days of gangster rap. So we gotta give her credit what credit is due. Now, Dr. Dre and them thought it was okay for them to go on Yo MT Raps or her show and talk shit. So when she gave Ice Cube a chance to respond, they took so much offense that they mentioned she should be beat up. And Dre took it upon himself to be the dickhead to go like beat the shit out of her. I'm talking about, they said he was beating her so bad, security had to pull out guns on people to keep them from trying to break it up. He was beating her so bad. All them niggas, you know, they got paid to do a job to protect Dr. Dre, but they shouldn't allow Dr. Dre to go ahead and do that to D Barnes. And they said this took place in 1990 when this happened. 1991. And then the promoter that day also got hit in the mouth from the security guard trying to break it up. He was the one who came out first talking about it, saying Dr. Dre a piece of shit for that. I mean, so again, don't kill the man for not trying to live another adult's life. People make decisions all the time that's counterproductive to their end goal. So at what point in time do I stop babying grown adults? What time do I let somebody who's grown make their own decisions?
Shit. When they decide that they grown. That's how I feel.
I mean, cause shit, he ain't put her in no conservatorship. He ain't do it like Britney Spears or nothing. So she got all free will to make her decisions. And I feel like if you got the decision to be out there popping that pussy, you're out there making especially when you get pregnant. You're making grown-up decisions at that time because you're choosing to bring another life or potentially bring another life into those situations. So, I mean, hey, hopefully they come to a resolution or something, you know. But apparently he wasn't in her life to beat her or nothing, so that's a good one. All right, that one was probably bad. I mean, but I'm a 50-50 man on Dre because I love his music so much, but, you know, I don't condone beating on women. Especially when you're like
silver lining in that situation, huh?
Especially when it's like a habitual thing. I mean, from Michelet's side, the first time he ever beat her ass, she was in the house sleep. He just walked in that drink drunk and punched her in his sleep and woke her up. Like, I couldn't imagine that. If I'm sleeping, what the fuck did she do to piss me off? That I just hit her first.
She wasn't woke to top them off.
A poppycock.
I'm not condoning this to any of the females.
If D Barnes was my daughter, if Michelet was my daughter, I would have been out here trying to, you know, handle Dr. Dre in a whole much different situation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, shit. Like, bruh, come on. You can't be out here like this. He was reckless. He was wild. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's time for us to get ready to wrap this up, man. It's been a nice 2-hour show. We went extra long in overtime. I brought in the boy Dame. This is the first time on the L.I.M.E show. Definitely won't be his last. Shout out to my flossers. Shout out to Chap Floss. Shout out to JK Distro. Shout out to Floss House, Next Up Media, Smoke Break. Make sure y'all go hit them links in the bio. Go follow all our other stuff. We will be back for more. It's your boy DJTheParkBoy. This has been a nice new episode of the L.I.M.E show. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy DJTheParkBoy, and I'm here with a special product for you. I got some Delta 8 weed from JK Distro, and I'm saying it's amazing. It's clean, smokable, and the best part is they deliver it right to your door. Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, it's now legal for them to have Delta 8 weed sent through the mail. That's right. And if you use promo code FLOSS1, you can get some clean, smokable weed sent to your door. Direct. You have options. You go right there to jkdistro.com. You look at all the strands they have, which is a lot. You can even get you some edibles. You can get you some wine. Anything in between you can think of. You put in promo code FLOSS1, you're going to save you 20%. So go ahead, hop on that now. Make sure it's in the description.